same tribe, but you owe your property, I owe my property. You don't get your wealth and give to me because we are the same tribe. You understand? So if you have your property and you want to protect your property, you should use the right channels to protect your property. But don't draw us in. Don't make it look like it's a tribal problem. That is where I think use this as a platform to fight is not good for our image. And I know that Yogbanwura will not be happy. He will do everything to resolve this matter.
All right.
I know.
Just hold on for me. Let me just go for a quick break. When we return, we'll continue our conversation. Stay with us. The program is Focus. We'll be right back.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, Mommy.
I'm
The second coming.
into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Trotro from Kaswati. Why wouldn't he be late? Or be late?
Of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. Yeah, you could be the luckiest. Coffee from Georgia be luckiest. From Natebia, cause she be luckiest. Me and you could be luckiest. No matter why you're lucky, everybody go be the luckiest.
That Kwame!
Send your God the apple boom. If you're poor, what's that? So would the coming of the Son of Man be.
Hey.
Is that his car?
Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompts and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
All right, welcome back, and the program is Focus. We are live on GBC News and also on the internet at gbcghanaonline.com. On Facebook is Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. We are talking about the conflict in Beneri and the measures put in place so far. I touched on the committee put together by the Minister of Interior to resolve this issue, giving them terms of reference, and we're given a month to do this. So far, over 48,000 people have fled their homes, and then about 13,000 have crossed into Côte d'Ivoire, while others are also being sheltered in camps by the National Disaster Management Organization, and of course the Red Cross too. Our guests are still here with us. I have next to me Kletu Seydou Dapila, who is the Honourable Member of Parliament for Jirapa. He was speaking before we went for the break. I'll come back to him to finish up his thoughts. Dr. Baggrave Bachi Dankwa is also here with us, former government spokesperson on governance and security, and we've been joined by Emmanuel Coutin, who is the Executive Director of the African Center for Security and Counterterrorism. Emma, good morning.
Good morning.
And thanks a lot for joining us. All right. Honorable, please finish up then.
Yes. Good morning, my brother, Emma. I just want to say that peace is not. You cannot do anything. Even when you are living in a small family, without peace, it's difficult for you to progress. Without peace, you cannot do anything. So all I just want to appeal to our people is that let's just nip this thing in the bud. Let's cooperate with the committee that has been established, led by Emmanuel Bombandi and others, venerable people. Let's cooperate with them, honest and just in resolving this matter.
Okay.
They should be very honest. They should be just. They should say it as it is. Let's don't massage the issue so that it will reoccur again. You understand? Yes. They should deal with the issue from the two people who started it. And it should be seen as two people fighting over property, not a tribal thing. That is the way I look at it.
And now the way it has gone, I doubt if it can just be narrowed down to the
Yeah, but that's the root cause. So they should take it from there. And now look at all the stakeholders. You see, when it's like this, lies are always being told. People are always, being maligned. They say all sort of things that people have not said. They will say this person has said this. And let's try as much as possible to employ the tool of emotional intelligence. Let's be very careful. Let's let emotions die down. Let's be calm in resolving this matter. Like I said, George, Brifos are married to Gonjas. Gonjas are married to Brifos. So in this situation, how do you attack your wife family and kill them and you go and sleep with that woman? How? I don't even get it. You understand? Yeah. It's hell. Yeah. I can imagine what people will be going through. I can imagine. Out of this, watch, marriages will be broken. Marriages will be broken. Relationships will be broken. People can even visit their uncle villages and all of that. Already they fled. They fled. Look at school children. The other thing I will want to urge is that those in charge of humanitarian services to them, the NADMO and other agencies, please, when you send resources down, ensure that it gets to the people. Don't leave it in the hands of others to go give them. No. Please, by now they should have a data of the people who are displaced. So when you are sending items, food and those things, please send it to the camp. Let them take it. Let the beneficiaries take it. Because I know in situations like this, you see people who want to also turn.
Yes.
Children can go to school. Farming, this is the peak of farming. People have fled and left their farms. At the end of the day, hunger, famine will set in. So it's not even a good time for this whole thing to have started. It's unfortunate. But my appeal, I want to see the Solar that I know that is always busy, that you see everybody moving around doing their business. That is the Solar that I want to see. That is the tuna that I want area so that they can farm and give us food to eat. Let people have peace so that they can go about with their normal daily activities. That is all that we need. Anybody who is stoking fire in this matter, please remember that you won't live forever. There's a judgment day. So sometimes I ask, when you kill people like this, you go to church to pray, you go to mosque to pray. Even those who go to the shrine, you all mention the name of God. And yet you can go and kill somebody, take somebody's life. Please, let's think about these things. Let's know that nobody comes on this earth to live forever. We came to meet land, we came to meet property, and we'll all go without nothing. We'll go with nothing. The way they gave birth to you, that is how you will go.
Okay.
So please, let peace reign.
Was security, and for that matter, intelligence, proactive enough to have prevented its current state?
You see,
because
normally,
it's something that started between two people.
Normally, you see, George, I have always said it.
Yes.
You can pick intelligence and you know that there is seemingly fight.
Yes.
But as and when it was tried, you wouldn't know. So I have always said that, look, you can bring 1,000 military men. There could have been 1,000 military men in Gbenyiri, but if they wanted to fight, the fight would have started.
Oh, really?
So yes, why wouldn't they fight? I have said it, George.
If there are 1,000 military men, they will still fight. There's no need for those people to be there.
No. The fight there will start before they intervene. You understand? What is a fight? We are sitting here peacefully talking. If none of us expected that I will slap, then I'll slap you. It's a fight. Then they will now intervene. That's the point that I'm making. You understand? Yeah. So it is just behoves on us not to ever fight. But if people are determined to fight, no matter the number of security personnel you send there, if they want to fight, they will fight.
Okay.
You understand? That's the point that I'm making. So the fight itself is something that our people or my people should not have even started in the first place. Let them resort to the court processes. No, it's about a plot of land. It's not about the entire Gonja land. It's not about the entire whatever.
Yeah.
It's about a plot of land. So somebody owns his land. The person should protect his land. So if they are fighting over their plot of land, they should go to the police. They should go to court so that the court will resolve it for them. Either than us fighting and making it a tribal thing. Okay. It will not help. Okay. It will not help.
I mean, looking at the work of the committee and what has happened so far, how could the committee should also position itself in all of these?
This matter on committee, you know, this morning I want to focus on Ivory Coast is going for an election.
Okay.
On the 25th of October.
Yes.
And we have their citizens also crossing borders to come into Ghana.
Okay.
And we are also seeking refuge in Ivory Coast.
Yes.
I want to focus on the government of President John Dramani Mahama.
Okay.
To ensure that we have our citizens back in our country. All those number of persons that are displaced. And sometimes these data could be more. I also want to admonish the Minister for Health and the Ministry of Health to ensure that we don't have any health outbreaks, okay? Because when people gather, you are aware of all the issues that would happen.
Yeah.
We don't want outbreaks of cholera. We don't want outbreaks of cold, flu, COVID. We don't want any of those. And I also want to entreat the national security, the threats of terrorism.
Mm-hmm.
For the subcommittee, report those findings to the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, so he can be able to make an informed decision.
You know, as you said, you want to call on the president to ensure that they get those who have been displaced back into their town. It's also part of the terms of reference for the committee. I'm looking at how the committee can operate in a way that both sides will feel okay and feel satisfied.
Well, I think I trust the leadership of the committee. Bombardier is a very matured gentleman. He understands the issues. He's well respected. And so I trust that he will bring his expertise to bear. And I trust that he will be able to solve the issues. But you see, my brothers and sisters up north must always be patient in trying to deal with these issues. I mean, like my senior honorable MP has stated, this is a matter between one person buying a land from another person. And so if patience had been given a chance, I'm not sure we would have gotten here. And so once the mediation team is in, they should give them a chance to be able to also do their work peacefully and be able to return back to the capital.
Okay, all right. So, Gutin, the last time we spoke about this, I remember there was a report you touched on. It was in the last time report or committee report on some of these things, which mainly talked about land issues in the northern part of this country.
That's right.
Yes. First of all, from that security point of view, did we as a country not gather enough information to know that it will get to that level in terms of security information intelligence?
Well, George, thank you for having me. And very good morning to my good friends and brothers, the Honorable MP for Drapa, and my close friend, Dr. Pargrave. In fact, my brother was shaking a bit with the release of a press statement by the Gonja Youth Association. You see, those of us who never hurt a fly, maybe the context or how it was framed, and I'm happy he has apologized. So I think it brings the matter to a finality. Even before today, he had even told me in confidence that he was looking to visiting the overlord of Gonja, and pay his respect to the overlord, for them to understand that he's a state person. He's not somebody who can be associated with maligning a particular ethnic group. This morning, your arsenals have been taken off.
He's being careful.
Your words become so fewer.
Yeah, he's being very careful. Very few words, yes.
It happens. These are some of the hazards of the work we do.
Yeah.
And some of us have been through this chapter before. It always helps us in the longer term.
But he's had a similar experience in the past. I think, yes. There was a conversation we had some time ago with him, and then It's about Bombandi.
Yeah.
I think it was a Boko conflict.
Boko
Yeah,
conflict,
Boko,
yes.
yeah.
The aftermath wasn't good for him. He had to leave the country.
Yes, I had my fair share. The Boko crisis, if you go to my social media, threat of death, how to visit me and my family. But you see, our overriding objective is peace. So we don't support any of the feuding faction. We will analyze the issues as they are. So to your question, George, you see, we need to situate the conflict in Beneri in a context, or if you like, we need to contextualize it. Otherwise, we'll be missing the point. This conflict is not just about the cities today. If you look at the history, side dispute has always been there, but it has been managed in the local context, except that it has not gotten to the national level we are seeing. And the land sale was just one of the triggers. That's why in peace building, some of us are always after the transformative approach, where you tackle the structural and underlying causes. That way, you deal with the issues permanently. You see, what I see in this country is that we often want to apply political solutions to localize conflicts. And that is why it has always been the way it takes, taking even Boko as an example. You see, there are conflict profiteers. And when you present these opportunities to them, they will kick into business. And so long as the conflicts prolong, that's how they make their money. So me with a committee set up by the president, George, I believe that we are prescribing the wrong medicine to the conflict.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
You see, the top-down approach don't normally work, especially that it's a land and a traditional matter. And this is why. Because the top-down approach, when you externally impose solutions, you know that you are always scratching the surface. It doesn't go anywhere.
Are you referring to the committee?
Yes.
Okay. So you expect that the committee should be at the local level?
I'll come to that. Let me lay my foundation why I feel we are prescribing the wrong medicine, so that it will help our listeners and even government policy makers who are listening to us. Because this committee lacks the local ownership and legitimacy in the eyes of the two feuding factions.
Okay.
And another thing is that political solutions are always vulnerable to government changes. So now, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is in power. He has set up a committee to look at this issue. They will do it the way they feel it is right at this present time. Is that not it?
Yes.
There's change of government tomorrow. The conflict erupts again because of the political dynamics. Then another committee is formed. And when we do this, we don't address the systems or the root causes. We are only scratching the surface of the matter. I understand the difficulty of my honorable MP. He's a brave man to sit on this platform to talk on very sensitive issue like this. Yeah. And it shows that he has a clear conscience in his mind, and he's not here to do anybody's bidding. If it were to be Emmanuel Cotin sitting where he is, I would have shied away from this platform, truth be told, because of the sensitive nature of it. And you see, it also is in the underlying situation. So to me, this decision was by the National Security Council, headed by no other a person than the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, who is the President of Ghana. There should be a parallel local peace dialogue within these ethnic groups. What people don't know is that if you look at Savannah region, there are more than 20 ethnic groups in the Savannah region. That's what many people don't know. And my brother has given us the histories about the Brufos and the Gunjes. They are intermarried. And the president is coming from that enclave, right? He went to meet the overlord of the Gunjas, the Gbora.
Yeah.
I think that would have solved the problem to begin with. You understand? So the goodwill is created by the president. You kick in the local mechanisms at the traditional level to get the traditional heads of these feuding factions at that level to sit down and trash out whatever is there. Because the historical antecedents of how such conflicts have been managed at the local level. Are we step-siding that and imposing a top-down approach? Look, Dr. Bombadi has made Ghana so proud internationally. If you talk of peace builders across the world now, he's one of the best, truth be told. And if you look at the makeup of the committee, they are seasoned people who can do the job. But I am of the firm view is, my firm view is that that approach may not work. And given that they are given only 1 month.
A month, yes.
Peace building is a patient activity.
But it can't be something in perpetuity.
Yes, it can, but the timeline of 1 month is woefully inadequate. And look at it, Johnny. If the thing is for them to look at solutions to calm the place, that is already done. The government has used the kinetic means to restore law and order. What is the committee really going to do in restoring?
To solve the problem.
How is the problem going to be solved by the committee? Let's look at the theories of peace building across board. We have to contextualize the situation and look at which of the theories best fit in. We don't. It's like the sciences. You have malaria.
Yeah.
Somebody sit down because you are having headache. I'm giving you paracetamol. How is that going to solve the malaria problem? So you see, for local ownership, these are the things.
But can't the committee decide to go down there and get the locals involved to solve the problem?
So now that the government has a parallel, an external committee in place,
yes,
they should have a local one as well, where solution must come from within the affected communities.
Can the committee go ahead to have that locals in there?
No, it will be established by the feuding factions. The Gbora is the overlord. He can extend an olive branch to the Burfos, call their clansmen or their elders to his palace and say, you know why? The way this thing is going is not good for any of us. We want to solve it. And when it is solved at that level, they have the local way of communicating among their people. They will return. Even if government is imposing a solution and say that there is peace return, some of them may not even come back. And that is the honest truth. And we have to also look at building on indigenous conflict resolution mechanisms. It's not everything government must do A, government must do B. These people have cohabited since 1925. Are you telling me that since 1925, the Brifos and the Gunjas or even the ethnic groups within that enclave, they've not had any form of challenges? They have. And you see, we must also encourage community-led dialogue. That brings perpetual peace we are all yearning for, because that addresses all the structural issues. And we must learn to shy away from elite mediation effort, just like the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. Elite mediation. We have to shy away from those kind of things, because this is a localized conflict. You understand? Now, you talk about the Alassane report.
Yes.
Look, if you look at northern Ghana today, if care is not taken and we don't discourage the northern problem, I see that it's a national problem today. You see, people started having debate while we are having a Kwaba at our airports and other distance.
Yeah.
It's something as a country we have to tread cautiously. And to me, in the northern region, our problem is poverty. Pure and simple. You will not get any youth interested in raising arms when he or she has something to do.
Yes, got a job.
So government has to be very intentional. And I'll come to that when it comes to economic report, John, George. In 1978, that was during the Achampon's regime. And I always say that the colonial powers have not helped Africa. We are still suffering because of colonial tendencies. You know how they petition Africa among the Portuguese, French, English speaking and stuff, so that they can have hold of our natural resources. So when they came to Ghana, what did the British do? They tried to introduce indirect rule. And they realized that Africans respected our chiefs. So they use our chiefs, you understand, to kind of perpetuate that kind of injustice on us. And that has remained with us. So during those days, lands, and if you look at the Alassane report, okay, out of the 12 committee members, only 4 signed that report.
Which are these 4 ethnic groups that the lands were left in the hands?
The Gonjas, the Dagumbes, the Mampreshis, and I think that East.
Okay.
East, okay.
Yes. That is how it was done. So you see,
so these 4 ethnic groups are controlling the entire land
because
in the northern part of the
they have traditional authority system in place at the time.
Okay. All right.
If you look at the history of chieftaincy in northern Ghana. So this Alassane report has been the problem. So government need to be intentional.
And out of the report, there were 12 members in that report.
Yes, only 4 signed.
4 signed.
So how can that report...
You have an idea where this 4 is coming from, things of their ethnic groups?
Well, I need to refer to the report. I don't want to... It's a sensitive matter.
I know.
I don't want to put... And you see, our decentralization program has also helped us. You see that we have created regions based on ethnicity. Look at the Volta region. The OT was created for political expediency. Correct? Look at the northern region.
But is there something we could have avoided? Because if you look at our settlement process, I mean, a group of people usually will find a place to settle.
Yes.
So the likelihood that you will create that division based on ethnicity is high because they move within groups to settle.
So you see, that is becoming a serious threat to our security and by extension our democracy if it is not addressed immediately. That's why I'm talking about, look, Nigeria didn't start the federal system. It's because the population increased and because of certain insurgencies of the time. They took the federal system to keep all these nuances. Look, we are 34 million going. And I'm sure by now will be more. The last time we had our population census is some time now, right? Why don't you look at going through the federal system, have about 6 federation in Ghana to keep this data. And when it comes to taking the difficult decision of ostrich, and you see, Gbenyiri could present the same challenges. It's about what? Land. And if you read the statement by the Gonja Youth Association, they made reference to the Gbenyiri chief to be a Gonja, the land owners. And that is crucial, you understand? You see, in modernity, I always use US as an example. The white, the yellow Indians, they call them, were the
Red
first,
Indians.
The Red Indians.
Yeah.
They were the first settlers in the United States of America. You hear about them. With us, we have to take serious land reforms, you understand, to address these issues. And the economic dimension.
All right, just hold on with the economic dimension. As I'll come to you on that aspect of it, so that we can quickly work within the time frame that we have. Honorable, just a quick one in here. When it comes to detecting early warning signs in terms of conflict, do we have the mechanisms in place so that we can know that, okay, and I'm not referring only to Beneri, I'm referring to other conflicts that we've experienced as a country, that, okay, this is what's happening, and it has a potential of escalating into something else, and we need to quickly put a stop to it. Do we have what it takes like that to do that?
Yes, sir. Intelligence and all of that. You understand? We have people who can really help to keep some of these things from happening. They can detect it early and they can begin to talk to stakeholders to avert it. But what we usually will experience is that, you see, conflict conflict resolution, conflict management is very, very expensive.
Yes.
Very, very expensive. If you ask anywhere that there is conflict, any country that experiences war, it will tell you that it takes much of their resources. You understand? So for me, we can detect it. We have capable hands. We can involve other aspects like my brothers that are on this platform and many others. We can use them to curb some of these things, except to say that, do we have the resources to invest in such areas? If we have the resources, then why not? You understand? It can be detected. What has happened in Gbenyiri could have been avoided. It could have been avoided. There are other things that I cannot put out on this platform. You understand?
That you know.
But what happened there is something that could have been avoided. But I have hope and confidence in the Yabongura. I know he's also using the landlords and the stakeholders to resolve this matter. I know he's not sleeping with it. Because, first and foremost, the Gonjas are usually the chiefs of all the lobby communities.
Or the lobby community?
Yes, the Gonjas are always the chiefs. So if you are a chief in an area where there is nobody, who are you chiefing?
Okay, you mean if you're a chief in an area where there's nobody living there?
Yes. You
but the land
belongs.
belong.
The people have run away. There's nobody. Yeah. So I also want to say the chiefs in all those communities should all endeavor to embrace peace. You understand? Because you need the people. If the people are not there, you even enjoy your chieftaincy, role. You understand? So please, all the chiefs from these communities, ensure that there is peace.
In embracing peace,
yes.
Honorable,
yeah.
Should the issue be resolved, or because in the name of peace, let's allow things to be and just move on?
In the name of peace.
Yes, usually we want peace.
Yes.
So yes, there are challenges in there, but you know what? Just for the sake of peace, I understand you. Just let's allow things to be.
No.
We should go to the roots to solve the problem.
So yes, I think that they should go to the root cause and let the parties all know where they belong, where they stand. You understand? The president, in his wisdom, has constituted this committee. The committee will look beyond just what the local people will do. You understand? They have always done that. They have always been skirmishes of insecurity, and the locals usually will deal with it. You understand? But the president wants the issue to be dealt with deeply, so that at least people will know their entitlements and all of that, so that we don't, it doesn't occur. Okay. So for me, the Sam Chief, the Kalbaura, and all those people who are deeply involved, they should try and let, normalcy occur within the area. That is my prayer. Okay. And I've also stated that, George, you cannot win in a war. You will lose something. You cannot win in a war. Absolutely. You will lose something. You understand? You will lose something. So in order for you know what to do. Maybe your deep eye. You understand? You lose your deep eye, and that will be hurting. Right. You can kill 100 people, but if they can take away one person from your life, that you will never forget. Yes. So in that case, let peace reign.
These two people involved, those fighting over the land, where the whole thing started.
And there were two briefers. There was not even a Gonja involved here.
Yeah.
The chief invites them. They didn't come or something, and he sent his messenger, and the messenger was attacked.
Yeah.
And it led to some death, including the chief's son. So obviously what happened? There will be reprisals. Very unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. Needless deaths.
Okay.
Needless lives are lost.
The issue is again concerning detecting early warning signs, not only limiting it to what's happening in Gbenyiri, but the other conflicts too around, detecting early warning signs so that we can prevent some of these things from happening.
George, before I you see, when I was talking of investing in building or detect like surveillance, surveillance as far as some of these vulnerable areas are concerned. You see, look, the police, the BNI, and all of that. You see, I think that the BNI should up their game. the BNI that I used to know I used to hear about.
It's politics.
You understand?
When there's change of government, you change everybody.
When I was young, growing up,
so talk to your boss.
I don't think it's the same behind. Well,
no, talk to your boss. I'm saying, close to your boss.
I'm coming.
I'm not when there's change of government, and you change every security head, where's the institutional memory? It's not there.
Bro,
everybody comes and do what
this one that we are talking about. It started in 2001. I understand. I also support what you are saying. But it didn't start with my current boss or my president, President Mahama. You understand? All that I'm trying to say is that, you see, the BNI, look, I was district chief executive some years back. I had the cause to blast my BNI officer. I said, you are too common in this town.
Why?
Why? Every tomato seller knows you. Is that what was happening? No. You could be living with BNI officers, you won't even know them.
Know him, yeah.
You understand? Then I was telling him, I said, you, what kind of...
So how do you even get the...
How do you get the information? You will not be able to get any good information.
And these people also...
Because you are so common.
They knew that he was a BNI.
They knew everywhere. I said, even tomato sellers knew him. So there was a problem. And we wanted his opinion, his advice. Then he came sitting down, not knowing what to say. I said, you see, you are even part of the problem. They are mentioning your name. They said you were there and you contributed. You understand? All that I'm trying to say is that, you see, intelligence gathering is so sophisticated. You must be able to gather intelligence as a special officer without them knowing.
We say you must operate in a submarine form.
Yeah. You understand?
Nobody even notices
you go to functions, then they introduce BNI officer. I'm like, no, hell no. That is not how it should be. He should come here and be able to know what is happening, whether the function organization will be successful or not successful. If it's not going to be successful, who is likely to stoke fire? You must gather all these things. But you don't go to an event and then they introduce you.
Honorable, you were this year, I'm happy.
Yes.
At a point, they became your errand boys.
I never did that.
Because many
I never did that.
Control the BNIs, because as a BNI, you are supposed to give an independent report of your jurisdiction, so that they can act on it. But for fear of political victimization and things, the DCs weaponize them.
But how can the DC intimidate?
I can tell you an example of something.
If that should happen, then you a BNI person, you are not worth your salt as a BNI officer. Then. So if that should happen,
you check at the movement machinery thing. Meanwhile, your job is independent.
Let me go to Pagri.
I understand. I get what you are saying, but you see, this is where the problem is, and I think that the new boss should look at how to reorientate his officers. He should. I know he's a very professional guy. He should reorientate the people.
On the issue of
they should not be following politicians around. They should, if a politician is going to an area, it is his duty to even go around and scout whether there will be peace, there will be sanity before the politician enters.
Early detection, and then when it comes to conflict resolution.
Dog, George, you can clearly see that we have issues in this country. I mean, clearly. We are not safe.
Who is not safe?
I mean, all of us are not safe.
Why are you saying that?
Because, you see, I have been very, very troubled. And you're aware, I've shared my concerns over and over again. And I'm beginning to be more troubled.
Okay.
Because I'm aware that at the very highest level of security, you receive security details, situational reports, minute by minute, that nothing should elude it. Crashes happened, and we lost very precious lives. And I asked myself, how can a minister for national, minister of defense, how?
Oh, you're referring to the unfortunate
incident. How on earth can that happen? How? It shouldn't happen. How on earth can that happen? And so I'm deeply concerned. I think that our security couples, from our National Security Coordinator to the NIB Director General to the military intelligence, the CID. I really think that they really, really, really need to help all of our peace and serenity. Because you see, people can go around and say all manner of things through these digital media. And until they say something that is treacherous to an individual, that's when they come for them. I've been following the issues about the MPP regional chairman.
Which one?
Who has been picked up.
The Bono regional chairman.
It's called Abono Abronye. Okay?
Yes.
He's been saying all manner of things in this country. All manner of things. But until he hit on the IGP, and I think he hit on... Did he hit on the president?
The president, yes.
Hit on the president and then hit on the IGP. That was when he was picked. But you see...
The party has also issued a statement.
You see, you see...
The party has also issued a statement. It's just coming in, actually.
Yes, I've seen the statement. Yeah. You see, but let's be Ghanaians. Okay? That's why I'm here this morning. I wouldn't have been on your show. I told you.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that. We appreciate that.
Let's be Ghanaians, okay? I'm a Ghanaian first before I belong to any other political party, associations, and the likes. Look, our security couple, look at these clashes that happened during the Homo War. Look at it. Such that the So I don't know, George. I mean, I don't want to think that we are in a helpless state. But I also want to continue to uphold the reverence I have for the various security state institutions. And so if they are receiving intelligence, they should tell the president the intelligence they are receiving. If it is above them, they should let the president know. If they are also not receiving intelligence, then they need to be able to ensure that they receive intelligence. Look at the university campuses that we have in this country. Legon has almost 40,000, UPSA has the likes. We don't even know whether they have been able to pick up some of these students and train them in security for them to be giving them intelligence. No, because you see, you know, when we talk about security, it's so huge, so sensitive an issue that we should not wait for an outbreak to happen before we realize that we didn't have security intelligence placed on all of our campuses. You see, George, it's okay.
George,
Dr. Pagri.
My brother brought in this Abronye issue.
Yes.
No, let's us not digress with the Abronye.
Oh no, we are not digressing. It's just a comment.
With this Beneri conflict, I was actually thinking I'll get an opportunity to propose some solutions.
We'll come to it. I would come to you. I'm actually coming. From him, I'll just come to you.
So let me just conclude.
Let me have it finished.
Okay, let me just conclude.
Because
when we have our final stretch, we can just
we are making a hero out of Abronye, wasting our
I'm sure
time
he's going to
discuss
refer to the statement.
Abronye.
I'm sure he's going to refer to the statement from the NP.
Let me just conclude. Okay.
Yeah.
My conclusion really is that the entire security agencies that hold the affairs of this country should ensure that we all remain safe. I think all of this conversation is about safety. And if I receive intelligence and the intelligence I receive, I know that they also have it. I mean, it shouldn't be difficult for them to handle the issues.
Yes. Okay, all right. Everything. Again, on early detection, and earlier I talked about issues concerning economic activities in terms of intelligence gathering.
Yes,
okay.
Across board. And you see, this is a problem we have brought on ourselves. It's politically engineered. So we have to go back to the basis if we really love our country and we want to get things right. Recruitment should be merit-based. Not the kind of protocols we do. Promotion should be merit-based, not the political color you wear. And your terms of office must be tied to performance. In this country, who evaluates what? And my brother raised a very fundamental issue. There's a saying that you catch them young and they are yours forever. Look, every developed country, like the United States, even a small country like Israel, taxi drivers are intelligence officers. Yeah. Even sweepers. So what incubation are we doing? By nurturing, like you mentioned, at the university level, we identify certain individuals who pick intelligence for you, and by so doing, you are training them for certain roles in the future. Second, you see the issue of appointment tied to change of governments and things. We have to give our security heads the tenure of office so that they can act without fear or favor. Until we do that, unfortunately, the Constitutional Reform Committee, I'm always calling for security sector reform. As an organization, we presented our suggestions to areas we think they should consider by way of reforms. We are yet to even receive invitation to be heard. I personally went and submitted that, and I'll share the copy with you. Very fantastic and practical document. So now, George, you see, Gbenyiri is dear to my heart. I'm in Northern.
Yeah.
But first, I'm a Ghanaian before a Northerner. You see, we, the Northern elite, who are privileged to have gone to school, I think it's about time we come together to fight our common enemy. Then propagating ethnic superiority is not going to help us as a group. They say every divided house cannot stand on its own. So we must stop the ethnic sentiment and look at how collectively we can look at. So what are the practical recommendations to this? To me, I think we should look at community dialogue. Parallel to what government is doing. You cannot say what they are doing is not entirely right or it will not achieve any outcome. We must also look at youth economic opportunities linked to peace. You see, our ministries, why don't we do what we call in economics comparative advantage, where we scatter the ministries across the country in terms of the comparative advantage of that region, instead of situating all the ministries in Greater Accra. So if you have anything to do, you have to travel to the capital. You understand? If we are intentional with those development processes, we will decongest the capital. You know that. Yeah. And some of the social ills will even be stopped, like the Kaya issues we have. We must also look at, we mentioned about things that are happening within the community in the past. We have to also document local peace practices. It's not everything government must come. Government should be looking at how it can build local peace practitioners across the regions. You understand? Fortunately, we have the Peace Council. If you look at the stature of the Peace Council, it's underfunded.
Yeah.
They are not even able to carry out any of their programs or projects. When there's a conflict of this nature, they have to appeal to one ministry to give them budget before they can what? They can move. So we need to be intentional on that. Now, the medium terms. I think we need a Northern Ghana land reform dialogue.
That's a big one.
We need a Northern Ghana land reform dialogue. All the conflicts that has happened and claimed several.
It should be the whole country.
No, but we are talking about Gbenyiri in this case. You start somewhere and you use that as a reference point to replicate it in other areas. And I say so because all the conflicts in the north, if it's not land, it's chieftaincy. We also have to look at community land documentation. We don't have that. So it's difficult more often than not to make referral points. And we have to look at inter-ethnic economic cooperation zones. Inter-ethnic economic cooperation zones that will minimize this ethnic superiority. You are a settler, I'm the landowner. And what has created all these things? The Alassane report. Then you look at the long-term measure. We have to look at a constitutional review of land and chieftaincy. George, I've always said on this platform that a time has come for us to reform our chieftaincy as an institution or our traditional authority to take its proper place, to play its complementary role with our modern governance system. And the earlier we do that, the better for this country. The saturation point has been on the drawing board, except that as usual, we pretend like ostriches and try to find shortcut solutions and think that the problem will end and it keeps recurring. We also need to decentralize economic planning, which I mentioned about the intentions of using comparative advantage in terms of the ministries we have. If Northern Region or Brunei is the breast basket of Ghana, the Ministry of Agriculture should be there. We shouldn't have this elite system when our ministers are sitting in Accra and driving V8. The Minister of Agriculture should be visiting farms. Like in other jurisdiction, you should have the knowledge in Agric. It's only in Ghana here we have very renowned medical doctors. You don't get a medical doctor. Integrated peace education.
Okay.
And this can start from our having peace clubs at junior high schools, celebrate programs, okay, in tackling some of the national challenges. Because they are youth, they are growing, they are our future leaders. They know what works for them. And by so doing, you see that those ideas will resonate with their peers. You understand? They come out, you give them some resources to go and what? Champion that cause. Is solving a particular violent extremism. When we brought a company in the US through the support of the US State Department and Facebook to address some of the challenges of violent extremism.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about those who had to flee these areas. And Pagriv, I'll start with you on this. In resettling them, what should be the means and how should they be resettled? So that obviously they've lost a lot of things. So it's like they are coming back into quote unquote a foreign home, if I put it as such. How do we handle them? Because I've listened to the Interior Minister at the press conference says that a number of them that fled to the neighboring country, Ivory Coast, have returned home. But in settling them to get used to what's happening, there's another issue too.
You know, George, we have trouble at our hands.
You keep on saying this.
Yeah, we have trouble at our hands because you see, the people that are displaced are a lot, and my two senior brothers have been talking about the poverty up north and how there are very, very minimal economic activities that can sustain them on a year-to-year basis. I think that the government must immediately focus on some economic activities up in the north as they look into reintegrating these people back into Ghana. Obviously, the government COFEX is very small. It may not overstretch itself, but if they can, they need to start giving some stipends to those people. You know, in this country, we have to start taking care of our citizens. We really, really, really have to start taking care of our citizens. We cannot allow our citizens to be responsible for themselves, especially when they are going through very difficult challenges like this. So the government almost immediately should try and put some measures in place to start giving some stipend to them. Try and put some measures in place to ensure that there are a lot more economic activities. And the Peace Council must rise up to the occasion. They must be able to ensure that they reintegrate them back into Ghana with a painful mindset.
What?
Peaceful mindset.
Peaceful mindset, okay.
I mean, because you don't want the people coming back with anger. And you don't want the people coming back with fear. Because when people are displaced, they are displaced because they are afraid.
They're afraid, yeah.
The Liberians left Monrovia to come to Accra because they were afraid that they'll be killed. So if the situations are still ongoing, you would have a lot more people who would decide that they will not come, even when government is saying that there's peace, and then repatriate yourself back. It has a lot more work to do. The Ghana Refugees Board also has a lot of work to do, because you have refugees now that are moving. There's not even refugees. There are people that are moving from Ivory Coast to come into Ghana because of the upcoming elections and the tensions that they foresee.
We have people from Ghana.
And then we have people from Ghana who have gone into Ivory Coast, and even Burkina Faso, which is a country under military supervision in terms of military juntas.
Even the Sahel challenge.
And so there's a lot. And I mean
these people will choose these two countries because it's closer.
Of course, absolutely. I mean, they have no choice. But if they are further on, they will continue. Because people are running away from disaster. They are running away from war. Okay?
They
and
actually migrated from Cote d'Ivoire. If you look at
the history, of course. Yeah. But they are not Ivorian.
They are not Ivorian. They are Ghanaians.
It's just like our people who are in Aflao who have moved from Togo to Aflao. I mean, Ghana has all those bordering countries. I mean, people even state that a sizable part of Ghanaians came from Israel. You know, I mean,
Israel.
Yes, they trace it. They say the Gans.
Another conversation there.
Let's
go on paragraph.
You know, and then so I think that for me, almost immediately. Okay, so government should plan adequately and be prepared to reintegrate them back to Ghana. The Ghana Peace Council must also work out very well to ensure that they alleviate the fears that these people would have. And the committee that has been set up as well must be able to meet them, because you don't want other external clashes that will happen as a result of them coming back. If not, then it escalates into a lot more refugees that we'll have at our hand.
Okay, all right. Abu, resettling them and making sure that they have that peaceful atmosphere.
Resettling the people who are displaced is very, very paramount. And I believe government should even immediately be looking at how to mobilize resources, or government should be mobilizing resources to ensure that we should look at alternative homes or supporting them to reconstruct their homes. That is when we can be talking, they can come back. You know, if I'm coming back, I don't have a house, I don't have a place to stay. Where do I live? So government should look at reconstructing those houses that have been destroyed or burnt. That's number one. You see, nobody, where they are now currently, is an eyesore. Some of them, to be honest with you, they don't even know where to go. They are purging and they are loitering and idling. You understand? That is even those who are still within Ghana. And one of those, some have fled into Burkina. They try to find places to sleep. They don't have anybody. But until they hear that, their houses have been reconstructed, or government is supporting them with funds, cement and things to reconstruct their houses, then you can see them coming back. And I think that government should look at that. I also believe that, you see, the education of these children, very, very important. The health of these children or displaced people, very, very important. These are issues that government should look at immediately. They need to be resettled, and they need to be reintegrated back into the community if we actually want to resolve the matter. But George, I want to still take a bite on the Abronye issue.
But it's not on. It's not.
Yeah, it's not. My brother mentioned it. You see, I've read the statement from the MPP, and I want to ask the General Secretary of the MPP and all the MPP stakeholders whether they are indeed proud of the things Abronye says, whether they have given him the license to be communicating the way he communicates. Politics is sophisticated now. It is not about how security agencies will never harass anybody. If you criticize government or you want to check on government, you want to make sure government is on its toes, nobody will come after you. But you see, George, if you sit on a platform, if I sit here and deliberately lied against somebody, the person has the right to take action. You understand? If I lied, if I say things that are untruth, the person has the right to take. What about that? Are they saying that the people that, the things that Abronya said about the IGP, the president, and all those people, they don't have rights.
I think the response is in the same statement. The sixth paragraph addresses... the sixth paragraph of that statement addresses your concern.
You understand?
Yeah,
I'm just asking, the people that Abronya is maligning every day, do you know what they go through when he says those things against them? The things that he says, I don't want to repeat some of them here. Okay. It's an eyesore.
Let's move on. He's not our subject. So let's move on.
I know he's not our subject, but it's a national. It's trending.
Well,
it's trending.
For
me, the MPP, you see, let's don't do this type of politics. Okay. Let's don't. We should stop it. Abronya, the things he says cannot convince a single soul to vote for MPP. Okay. He cannot. Don't encourage him. He should be stopped.
Pat Graves said something. I mean, again, the context in which he said that too. Concerning Abronya should be also taken into play, because he said that, well, he's been saying a lot of things until he spoke against the IGP and then the president, and this actually happened. Which
for me, it's just not about the president and the IGP, but the things Abronya says is just, look, let me tell you, everybody can say anything. Lies, fabrications. Be mindful that those people equally have right. Right. We've over-correlated.
Mr. Kuti, settlement and resettlement for these ones who have fled the country.
Well, I think it's very paramount, and my two brothers have made justice to that. It's a very undeniable fact that these citizens need to be resettled immediately. But I have concerns over the processes.
Okay.
More often than not, government will allocate money. It doesn't get to the people. They will form committees, per diems and whatever, and what gets to the bottom is so meager. We are now in the technological world. They should be able to have data about the displaced, get a very trusted fund, and can disburse this money remotely to the accounts of these displaced people. The money don't pass through the hands of third parties. And you see, George, I will write a letter to the Minister of Interior on behalf of the organization on the Freedom of the Information Bill. We want to know, as a country, in the last 10 years.
As in the law we have, freedom of information.
Yes.
Or the right to information.
The right to information.
The right to information, yes.
I use the right to information. I say freedom. We were looking for that freedom. It has come. So
that's the right to information. Now we have the law.
Yes. We want to know, within the last 10 years, we've had a lot of conflicts across the country. How much of taxpayers' money were expended in these enterprises? You know why I'm saying this?
Yes.
This will give us the opportunity to analyze conflicts in this country, whether our response efforts are worth it and are bearing fruits or otherwise. Because if you look at Boku in particular, the amount of money we spent in conflict in Boku, who will have time to bear arms against his fellow human being? Nobody. So resettlement, yes, but we must have a different approach, not the traditional approach where we don't even see where the money ends up at.
Okay. All right. At least we told that about 50,000 residents fled their homes, and then 13,000 have moved to Cote d'Ivoire. So if all these numbers are to get back to their homes, that means that we have to create an environment.
And George, there's something we have to also address. There are international laws associated with refugees.
Yes.
Once they have crossed to the other jurisdiction, we have to follow certain processes, just like the Liberian refugees.
We or those countries that have gone to?
We have UNHCR, right?
Yeah.
So, and international donors will equally give money. It's a convention. We are signatories to those things. You understand?
Okay.
So, George, to conclude, let me clear this once and for all. I think that the government committee, right, might achieve a temporary camp. But without structural reforms, and when I talk about structural reforms, I'm talking about land, economy, and governance. Ghana risks creating another Boku, a perpetual conflict managed but never transformed.
Okay, all right. Gentlemen, we'll leave our conversation here. Thank you very much for your time, and have a good day. Pagri, I've seen those messages, but I mean, let's just hope that it's just one of those things. Just as honorable, and then Mr. Kushina will assure that you're going to be okay. So,
it's fine. You know, our people are very loving people. Nobody will harm you. No, it's fine. It's fine. Nobody will.
You know why? Are we live?
Yes, we are live.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, we are live. All right. Yes, sir.
I just want to appeal that the chiefs, the Gbenyiri, the Solar chief, and all the chiefs involved, they should just for our brother, they have forgiven him. They won't do anything to him.
Okay.
All that I want to say is that they should let businesses move on. You understand? I'm told people cannot open their shops and all of that. That is not too good, because if they cannot open their shops, how are they going to feed? That is a problem.
That's another challenge too.
Yeah, yes. I think they should allow peace to reign. Let them go normally with their businesses whilst we go into the issues.
All right, we'll leave it here. We earlier advertised that we're going to talk to the Minister of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. Unfortunately, we're not able to do that, and wasn't able to join us based on other engagement that he had. So hopefully when we get the time and the opportunity to do that again. So on this note, thanks a lot for your time. This program continues same time next week, but it's going to be a repeat this evening at 11 after major news bulletin. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
We shall tell our own stories, narrate our own details, watch the continent with our own spectacles and through our own lenses. We shall tell our stories better, the ups and downs, the pleasant and unpleasant without a slant. Stories from Africa, by Africans, told by Africans, understood by the world. All this and more within Africa on Tuesdays and Fridays at 4:05 p.m. on GBC News. Within Africa with Multiti.
The streets is calling. Let's dance. This September, the heartbeat of culture returns. Get ready to ignite the streets of Ho with rhythm, color, and unmissable energy. Boborbo Carnival 2025 is here. Bigger, bolder, and more electrifying than ever. On Saturday, September 27th, 2025, as part of the legendary Asogli Yam Festival, the city of Ho will come alive. With your masks on, carnival gears ready, and dancing feet set, you're invited to a street celebration like no other. From the hills to the coast, over 10 incredible Bobobo groups from across Ghana will battle in the 2025 National Bobobo Championship. Who will rise? Who will rule the rhythms? Come and witness dance, drum, and tradition in their rawest and fiercest form. This is more than a contest. It's a cultural spectacle, a national celebration of unity, heritage, and pride. Bring the whole family. Premier traditional carnival, street games, and electrifying performances. There's something for everyone, from elders to little ones. So mark your calendar. Saturday, 27 September 2025, Ho Bankoi, Volta region, Ghana. Don't just hear about it, live it. Let's dance, let's celebrate, let's make history together. Brought to you by the Bobobo Carnival, a Sogli State Council. Proudly supported by Lifestyle TV. Shop better.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, mommy.
Just second coming. Into all this tension, just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Trotro from Kaswa. Why wouldn't he be late? Or be late?
Of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. You go be the luckiest. Coffee from Georgia be luckiest. From Natebia, cause she be luckiest. Me and you go be luckiest. No matter why you're luckiest. Everybody go be the luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Senya God the apple boom. If you put it at so would the coming of the Son of Man be. Is that his car?
Everywhere. Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompts and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
I see myself and all I see is growth. Malaika has really transformed me.
Thanks to Malaika for giving me this platform. I knew who they were before the pageant and what they've become, and I'm like, wow.
Join us for another captivating season of Miss Malaika Ghana, where we get to celebrate the power of transformation and personal growth. From the intense challenges to the glitz and glamour of the stage, we will get to witness these ladies transform into confident and empowered individuals. But it's not just about the journey. The stakes are high and there are lots of prizes up for grabs. One lucky lady will bear the title of Miss Malaika Ghana 2023, drive away the car, and have a dream vacation of her life with her runner-ups. With the twists, unforgettable moments, and the quest for the crown, this season we get to experience beauty that blooms from within. Miss Malaika Ghana premieres on Lifestyle TV, Sunday, 7 p.m. Miss Malaika Ghana, beautiful inside out.
Durbanville, a charming suburb in Cape Town, South Africa.